Hello and welcome to evening prayer. This evening's prayer is right on the heels of Mother's Day. A very different Mother's Day for many people. A very challenging Mother's Day. And so people shared with me stories of not being able to visit their mothers who are in retirement homes or long-term care facilities. Sometimes those facilities themselves were in full lockdown, and feeling deeply grieved because of not being able to connect with their mother on this day in particular. And then listening to grandparents, grandmothers in particular, talking about it being 8 weeks since they've been able to hold their grandchild or to see their grandchild. Grandparents just longing to gather children in their arms. It was a hard day. And so I think about all of the grieving that is intermittent during this time of pandemic. Moments that seem normal, and then suddenly we hit the wall, or the penny drops, or we stumble into a place in our own heart that cries out with sorrow. And it seems to me that the role of sorrow within the biblical tradition and within the Buddhist tradition is that sorrow is a place that we're not invited to run from, but it's a place we're invited to stay until it becomes a portal or a doorway to gratitude on the one hand and to the expansion of our own heart on the other. So that on the other side of sorrow, or through the journey of sorrow, we become much more compassionate, empathetic people. And I'm not suggesting that everybody's here to learn a lesson. But I think each of us is called to determine not just what our personal response will be at any given moment, but also how we can grow ourselves and our hearts so as to become more compassionate people on the other side. And so keeping in mind that there may still be a sting in your heart from yesterday's Mother's Day event, I've chosen to read a blessing to you written by Jan Richardson, who compiled a book of blessings after the very sudden and unexpected and premature death of her husband. And this blessing is called The Cure for Sorrow. Because I do not know any medicine for grief, but to let ourselves grieve. Because I do not know any cure for sorrow, but to let ourselves sorrow. Because I do not know any remedy, but to let the heart break. To let it fall open, then to let it fall open still more. Because I do not know how to mend the unmendable, unfixable, unhealable wound that keeps finding itself healed as we tend it, as we follow the line of it, as we let it lead us on the path it knows. Because I do not know any solace but to give ourselves into the love that will never cease to find us, that will never loose its hold on us, that will never abandon us to the sorrow for which it holds the cure. There is no shame in sorrow, good friends. It is a part of the rhythm of life, and we are experiencing that rhythm of life in a much more profound way these days. And so be patient with your own heart. Be tender with your own sorrow. And lean into the love that embraces, surrounds us in every minute of every day and every night. And remember that sorrow is a reminder of how profound the gifts of life have been for us. We only grieve that which is a profound loss. Our profound losses are only the result of having loved deeply. So let us stay with that gratitude as we put this bed and possibly yesterday to bed as well. Rest well, and peace be with you, good friends.